Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here with you. A love reading for the week of October 19th through 25th. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate with everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the new and returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you all so much for being here and for sharing some of your day with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle this one. I hope that you guys are having the most fabulous week and everything is just, yeah, the season is changing. It's getting a little bit chillier, so I'm sure you've noticed I have long sleeves on a lot of the time. And yeah, getting into the spooky season. All right, we're going to go ahead and see what the overall energy for love for you is this week, Aquarius. What is the overall energy for Aquarius for love here, Spirit? What is the overall energy for Aquarius for love? All right. Ooh. Got the Page of Swords. All right. And something for Aquarius to think about. Yeah. Something to focus on. Whoop. Those ones were not. Oh, wow. And some advice, guidance, or an answer to a question Aquarius has about love. Jumping cards. All right, here we go. And let's get a few more tarot, get a little bit more information. Ooh, wow. All right, Aquarius. A little more information here. A little more information for Aquarius, Spirit, for love. I don't know, Aquarius. This may be all you need to hear or know. Okay. Yeah. Did another one? No. Okay. Whoa. Isn't that interesting? You know what? Those Spirit is indicating go over there. Okay. Here we have it. Wow, Aquarius. Big week in love here. All right. So your overall energy for love this week, Aquarius, is the Page of Swords coming in here. So, whew, the overall energy is coming through as a lack of emotional intelligence, a lack of communication, a lack of swords with this, a lack of sorts with this Page of Swords energy. It's really, some of you are feeling disconnected. Some of you are feeling kind of that maybe the relationship isn't going anywhere. Some of you are feeling as if you know, there's a disconnect, like things aren't working. So that is overall energy. So something to think about is your inner knowing coming through here, Aquarius. Wow. So some of you know that this relationship may have had or come to an end or be coming to an end. You have that feeling that, you know, things maybe just aren't working out or aren't working anymore with this inner knowing card. Now, on that flip side, some of you may have an inner knowing as well that, you know, although things feel like they're lacking, maybe you guys have busy schedules. Maybe you're, kind of like missing each other as far as like your schedules go. Maybe one of you work during the day, maybe one of you work during the night, and then you have obligations on the weekends or what have you. And some of you are in the state of feeling as if, or have this inner knowing that things can get better if the schedules change, or once this scheduling conflict, is rectified. Maybe one of you works out of town for some of the time and are away, but there's this inner knowing that something needs to shift, something needs to change. There's a lack of emotional intelligence, there's a lack of connections, there's a lack of communication as that overall energy with that Page of Swords. And there's this inner knowing that something's got to give or something's got to shift, and or that this inner knowing, Aquarius, that this relationship may be at its ends. For some of you, with the Eight of Swords coming in here, well, the Eight of Swords and the Moon coming in here. With the Eight of Swords, there's this energy of some of you may be feeling trapped. Some of you may be feeling as if, this, whatever this is, for some, I'm not saying this is everybody, but for some, whatever this is, whether it feels as if a real relationship or not, and it's kind of coming through here that for some, it's really lacking. There's this inner knowing that for some of you, potentially there was some settling going on that contributed to the building or the beginning of this relationship. And some of you just feel trapped in it now, as if you can't maybe even get out of it. For others of you, there's this energy coming in here that some of you really are feeling as if there's no other possibilities, or kind of, have become passive. And that's where that lack is coming in, and not seeing that. Now with the Moon coming in with this as well, Aquarius, this energy is coming through as, being uncertain, and uncertain within the love, uncertain within the relationship, really uncertain. And you have that inner knowing card at the very top of this row here, Aquarius. So you actually know what it is, whether, you settled, whether this lack is due to, feeling a bit, for some, the word suffocated is coming through here as well. Some of you feel trapped, suffocated, and with that Moon energy, just it's kind of, it's complicated. It's almost as if somebody updated their face, or you or your person updated your Facebook status as it's complicated for the relationship with the Moon. And yet you or your person, Aquarius, because remember, energy is fluid, it could be you or your special or specific person. You have this inner knowing around this relationship, but at this point it's complicated. It's a complicated relationship during this time here, Aquarius. So what to focus on now, this is what to think about. Think about, with that overall energy, that inner knowing, that complication, that potentially feeling suffocated or trapped. What is your gut telling you about this relationship? Where is it? Is it time for this relationship to end? Did you settle? What is it that your gut is telling you at this time, Aquarius? Now, something to focus on, or what to focus on, is forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So wow, some of you might be in this place or in this state as far as the relationship goes, a feeling of lack, a feeling of it's complicated, a feeling trapped or suffocating. And some of you, are really ignoring the inner knowings because you're just not sure what you would do otherwise. Some of you really settled, and you're like, some, the fear of failure. I'm feeling this fear of failure energy kind of run through me here, Aquarius. So for some of you, you're really potentially, now don't take this if it doesn't resonate, but feeling that if you leave or end this relationship, that you failed somehow, failed someone, failed people, failed yourself, or something such as that. And you're holding on to it because of that, even though it's complicated, even though there's a lack of intimacy, or a lack of connection, or a lack of communication. And inside your inner knowing is that it's time. But some of you are feeling a fear of failing as far as relationship go. Maybe some of you, or one of you even, has had several relationships that kind of ended up this way. And, Spirit is indicating within that there needs to be forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself is what is coming through within that here, Aquarius. But so if you need to forgive yourself, because, relationships, some are very long and beautiful in years and committed and marriage and all the beautiful things, and some are not. And sometimes we need to kiss, I don't know why this is coming through, kiss a lot of frogs before we find our prince or princess here, Aquarius. So there's forgiveness that needs to come through for yourself if that resonates with you. If you've had a few relationships and you just feel like, if you let this go, or if you trust or tune into your inner knowing and, let this go or end this relationship, that you're going to look like a failure, maybe to your family, maybe to your friends. Maybe there's been some teasing or egging on or whatever that you go through relationships, like you go through, pantyhose or jeans or change your clothes or what have you here, Aquarius. But so there needs to be some forgiveness there for yourself, because again, Spirit is indicating sometimes we kiss a lot of frogs before we find our prince or princess. Okay. But then there's also, for some of you, some forgiveness needs to come through. Again, this says nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So for some of you, there is some forgiveness that needs to come to the table, that needs to come through to allow for this communication, for this emotional intelligence and intimacy to be rekindled. You or your special person or your specific person, Aquarius, need to really kind of look at the past, not look at the past, look at disappointments, because sometimes disappointments are daily in relationships, and sometimes that's just kind of how it is. But are you settling? Are you, are you feeling like you're trapped or suffocating? You are the one, or your partner, depending on which side this forgiveness is coming through, really needs to look at that and decide kind of where you're at. Is it something that can be forgiven? And if so, how can you allow that forgiveness to come through? First of all, are you ready to allow that forgiveness to come through? Because holding on to it isn't generally hurting, the other person. Now, within relationship where it is generally the two people, it could, but overall it's hurting the relationship is what's coming through here. So interesting energy. So forgiveness is what to focus on here during this time as far as love goes, Aquarius. Now you also have the Knight of Pentacles and the Magician coming in here. Isn't that interesting? With the Knight of Pentacles, Aquarius, this is really somebody who is loyal but stubborn. And that may be where that forgiveness is coming in. There may be one or both of you, or one or either of you, however that resonates, that is stubborn and is holding on to things, that is creating this lack energy or this disconnect energy, Aquarius. So this stubbornness, it's time for that to pass. It's time for that to go. If you're the one holding that, let that stubbornness go. Holding on to things and past disappointments or past things isn't helping the situation. If you can forgive that and let your stubbornness go for the sake of this relationship, if that's what you're wanting to continue within this relationship, your inner knowing is going to be your biggest thing here, Aquarius. But if you are wanting to keep this relationship alive and going, then what you need to focus on is letting that stubbornness go. Look at forgiveness. What are you holding on to, and what is potentially creating this block or barrier or this lack as far as intimacy and emotional intelligence, connection, all of that, Aquarius. And really, relationships take work. Relationships take work. And Spirit is indicating that this is going to be a week of work, whether that work is releasing this relationship and letting go, going your separate ways with lots of love, right? Or whether it is, letting that stubbornness go and forgiveness, whatever that is. Now, you also have the Magician coming in here. And this is really this opportunity for you to focus on an opportunity for creating opportunities in love, for creating that connection, for creating that communication. How can you do that? And how can letting go of that stubbornness and forgiveness, letting go of past things or working through them or communicating about them, right? Because this is creating a block for you. This is creating a block for you here, Aquarius, within love, within relationships. So how can you create opportunities? So focus, what your focus is, Aquarius, during this time or for this week, is to let go of that stubbornness, okay? To focus on forgiveness and to look for or create opportunities within the love, within the relationship, and or within yourself. Because some of you, again, may follow, with that inner knowing card, you may decide that it's time for this to come to this relationship to come to an end. And there, if you have that fear of failure that we were talking about earlier, or even not, it will be a time to, focus on forgiving for yourself, but also big time focus on creating that love within yourself. However, this goes here, Aquarius, whatever decisions that you make. Now, you have an answer or advice or guidance, and that is this situation will improve. So, Aquarius, now that situation is going to, can, or will improve based on the decisions that you make. Okay? Because no matter what, improvement is here. There is relief. There is improvement. And it is here, Aquarius, and it will improve. Now, will it improve by you deciding to go, end the relationship and go on your own and be single again and, practice forgiveness, practice self-love? Yes, that will improve it. Will it improve by you, again, releasing releasing that stubbornness, really having that clarity, right? And deciding why it is, or if you are, or if you lowered your, kind of where you're at as far as the earlier part of the reading here, and improve with taking those steps with what to focus on. Either way, there will be improvement as far as love goes, Aquarius, but it really depends on the decisions either you or your partner or together make about this relationship. There's a decision to be made here, Aquarius. There's a decision to be made here, and it can go either way, but either way, that answer and or the advice, guidance coming through is that the situation will improve. Okay, so let's take a look here. You have the Two of Cups and the Temperance card. Wow, isn't that interesting here, Aquarius? So as far as the answer, the guidance, the advice, you have that the situation will improve, and then you have the Two of Cups and Temperance coming in here. So with that Two of Cups, for some of you, with that situation improving, there will be almost this energy or this space to kind of rekindle and almost have a restart or a redo from this relationship. Others of you are, potentially with that improvement deciding to leave, but there will be a new relationship coming in. Either way, there is going to be some deepening of intimacy, whether that is with this current person or with somebody new. There is, and or with yourself here, Aquarius, there is going to be a deepening connection with that Two of Cups and some deepening intimacy. For some of you, this is going to get kind of spicy, which is so awesome. And then with that Temperance card, there's that energy of really being considerate with the situation, with the person, whether this is that rekindling, that re-sizzling, or what have you with this relationship or a new one. There's a lot of care and consideration that needs to go not only within partnership, but within love, within relationship as well, Aquarius, whether that's new or existing. When there are things that need to be looked at, need to be forgiven, need to be worked through, if we shy away from them and kind of decide that we're just, trapped or that we're suffocating, then we tend to keep ourselves in that space. So what is coming through here, Aquarius, or if you're noticing all the lack in your relationship, we can feel pigeonholed into, not seeing that lack. We can pigeonhole ourselves into only seeing that. So Spirit is indicating that really with this Temperance card, being careful and considerate with, and patient with the romance, with the love, with your partner, and with yourself. No matter what you decide, because Aquarius, a decision does have to be made here, is what is coming through. Because if you're feeling this type of way and you have that inner knowing that it's time for this relationship to end, then that is what is right for you. If you are on that other side where you're really feeling like, you can have this reconnection, this emotional intelligence, or excuse me, emotional intimacy and physical intimacy, and that, this is happening because of a breakdown or somebody's holding something, right? You, either way, you get there, that decision is going to fall on either you or your partner or the two of you together, but there is a decision that needs to be made in love. And there is improvement, there is relief on the way, but also that really kind of comes through with the decision that you make, Aquarius. All right. I do intend that this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit that like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new videos. It is free for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and it does support the Lucky Stars community in growing and thriving. Have you subscribed? What are you waiting for? If you haven't, go ahead, hit the button down there. And as always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. I'll see you in the next reading.